Hey guys, welcome to Coffee and a Chat. I actually don't have any coffee with me right now, so I had to bring some ice water because I needed some, so I hope that's okay. But don't worry, I just brewed a fresh pot, so after I drink my ice water, we're back on the coffee. Oh, have you guys ever had a bad attitude, the wrong attitude? Not necessarily a bad attitude, but the wrong attitude in a situation? I'm kind of hoping you have. And the only reason I'm hoping you have is so you don't judge me. I had the wrong attitude the other day. So, confession time. This guy, but confession that led to a big lesson. This guy showed up at our house. He was a salesman. At first, I thought maybe Marvin knew him or something, and but then Marvin comes and gets me, and he's like, "Oh, this guy's selling some stuff," and I told him, I have to go get my wife. I was like, oh my word, we can't buy anything right now. This is not, we don't have money to be buying any extras. And what he was selling was not something we needed. Definitely not. So, I went out and tried to politely, tell him that this, it's not a good time for us. And this, his product was not something that we were in the market for anyway. And we had no need for it. And, Marvin was just trying to go, now, how much do you want? So because Marvin said later, he goes, I just want to tell me how much he wanted so I could say, we don't have that money. And I just wanted him to know this is not, we're the wrong people to stop and try and sell something right now. But being a somewhat typical door-to-door salesman, sorry guys and gals that sell door-to-door, but he wasn't interested in answering any of our questions or listening to what we said. And he actually kind of was thinking out loud in his process. So I learned some things there as to why things tend to go the way they are. So he said, just let me give you the spiel. He goes, if nothing else, the practice is good for me. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Oh, I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I just want to practice. You'll buy it, right? No. So I said, well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't really like salesmen, so I'll try not to chew you up and spit you out. And he's like, oh, yeah, please don't do that. And so he started in with his spiel. And, it doesn't matter what they're selling. There's just kind of a certain dialogue that takes place. And they, what they're doing is trying to show you. See, they're not going to tell you the price up front, because we had a guy come and try to sell us some gutter things one time. And so when he gave us the price for, after he did his spiel, and we actually were in the market for it, and we did end up getting them, but not at the price he first quoted us. No way. So, they always throw out this outrageous quote to you first. So he goes, $5,000 to put these tops on your gutters. On your house. We're like, 5,000? Well, that's not going to happen. And so then he goes, well, but I can give you a senior discount. And because you've been nice, I'll give you the nice discount. And then, we're running a special right now. And so then, he kept bringing it down. And we kept going back and forth till we finally agreed on something. And the product is great. We've had it for several years. Love it. But the sales pitch, don't love it. Not a fan. If I already like your product and I'm going to get it, just give me a reasonable price that we can work with, and don't play all these games, because that $5,000 was never what he was going to be trying to get. That's just the outrageous number, because see, if they say 5,000 and now they're only saying, well, now, it's only 3,000, you're like going, oh, that's almost cut in half. That's so much better. But that's still outrageous for that. So anyway, so this guy, Marvin, kept trying to ask him, well, but how much? And he's like, I'll give you this, if you'll buy this, then I'll throw in these for free. And, I just want to get this is just extra product that I have. It's the end of the day. I just need it, to move it. I don't want to have to take it back home, blah, 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 blah. I know that just 99.9% of everybody there listening to me right now, you've been through this, and if you're one of the salespeople, get a different job or don't come to my house. Anyway, I started getting kind of irritated, because it was one of those sales pitches that just went on and on and on. Now I thought, when he gets to the end, he's going to say he wants $200 for this. I don't got $200. I don't even think I've got $20. And so, not that I could go spend on this. I mean, all the rest of the money, it's already promised to the electric company, to the mortgage company, to the insurance company, so to actually just have money that I could just throw down on something, I didn't even think I had $20. So, when I go, I'm thinking he's going to say 200. Oh, yeah, if only. So anyway, so he goes on with his spiel, and what he was selling doesn't really matter because it's all the same no matter what they're selling. I'll tell you that. And so he finally then, gets to a point, and Marvin's like, well, just tell us how much. $600 and something. I started laughing. I go, are you kidding me? I go, we're old people. We're on Social Security. And are you kidding me? And he goes, well, but you could come up with 4, right? You could come up with 400. I'm like, I couldn't come up with 400. I couldn't come up with 300. I couldn't come up with 200. I couldn't come up with 100. And he's like, but you could do 150, right? And I'm like, and Marvin's even like, did you hear? She said she couldn't even come up with 100, and I'm like, I'm kind of, like, Marvin, why did you bring me out here? You're throwing me under the bus that I'm having to deal with this guy. I think you didn't want to. So anyway, this kid, he's, he goes on and so he goes, well, what could you come up with? I said, maybe I might have $10 in my purse. And that's not going to buy anything here that you're trying to sell to me. And he goes, and then he looks at Marvin, he goes, she can do 150. He goes, these women, they've always got a stash somewhere. And I was like, you know what? There probably are a lot of people that do. But I go, look at me. I am dead serious. I don't got no stash. I go, we don't have anything. We don't even need. What you're trying to sell us is not a need. It's really not even a want. But we only buy what we need, not necessarily just what we want. But we don't even need this. And even if we did, we don't want it. And so, I go and, I've been trying to tell you, I didn't want to waste your time. And Marvin's like, I didn't want to waste your time. That's why I just wanted you to tell me how much money you wanted so I could tell you, we don't have that much. He and I both had the same idea, just a little bit different strategies. So finally, we convince him that we're telling him the truth. And, and I said, look, I tell you the truth. If I could come up with $100, I tell you I could come up with 100, but I don't want it. So I go, I'm going to be honest with you. I just need you to be honest with me. So then he was kind of like defeated and stuff. And I don't remember exactly how the conversation changed, but I'm feeling irritated and I'm, just want this thing to come to an end. I just want to go back in the house and go back to work. I'm like thinking, man, there's already been a half hour that I've lost out of my day with this guy trying to sell me something I don't want. And, and I'm like, Lord, please make him go away. I'm praying, and so I can get back to what I'm doing and make me stronger so that I can just meet them at the door and just go, this ain't happening, and I'm just, Well, little did I know. See, here's the thing that I have learned. I always say, here's the thing. I'm noticing that. You see, when you start making videos and you see yourself, you find out all kinds of stuff about yourself that you didn't know. So here's the thing. What I've learned in life is I don't believe in coincidences anymore. See, I need coffee, not ice water. Okay. Everything happens for a reason. And God's a lot more involved in the things that are going on than what we realize. And he's a lot more in control. That's why we should be asking for his help, because he can actually do something for us. Okay, so, this kid said something about God, and then, about how, like he believed in God and was following him, but then how his life is just, life is too hard and he just doesn't know what to do or whatever. And I think at first he was going for trying to get sympathy out of us, one more jab to see if he couldn't get some money out of the old people. But I really didn't, I'm not even sure I had $10. I had some ones. I knew that, and I thought there might be 10 ones, but I wasn't sure. So anyway, I said something to him, as he's going, I go, but wait, but you said you believe in God. So then that should be where your hope is, right? And so we started into this conversation, and he started telling us, well, he wasn't really living like he should. But he grew up in church, used to really believe in God. And he starts telling us all these different things. And I'm like going, oh, this is interesting. But it was kind of tense or something. Like he had protective shields all around him that were not going to be penetrated. And so it was like you were having a conversation, but it was very limited, very controlled. And so then I started praying. My prayer changed. Lord, soften his heart. Open my eyes, open Marvin's eyes, give us wisdom so we know what it is you're wanting to do here. So we know what you want us to do. So we'll please you, so we'll obey you, so we'll do what we're supposed to do in this moment. And the Holy Spirit came on my husband. I know he did. Because suddenly, and Marvin, he is a very quiet, private man. If you were to ask him to get up in front of a crowd of people to talk, wouldn't happen. I can pull it off. Not that it's necessarily any good, but I can get up in front of a bunch of people. I've had to do it most of my life. So I don't like it. I'm not really comfortable with that. I'm, believe it or not, much more of an introvert than I realized I was. But in life, and especially while I was single, I learned a lot of things about myself. And that alone time is much more precious to me. It's exhausting to be around a lot of people and to have to do those things but I enjoy it, because it's just for a little while. And if it's doing something for the Lord, then I'm good with it. I love, especially ministry. I love ministry, but I'm not going to, I don't want to be in that position all the time. I need to get away and decompress and just spend just some time, just me and the Lord. Well, Marvin can be there now too. I kind of like him. He's okay. So anyhow, Marvin began, and I've seen this with my husband. He's not the guy that's going to get up in front of a bunch of people. That's what I started to say. But one-on-one, he's pretty amazing because he can listen to God, and he can just, in the most comfortable, gentle, sweet way, just let God work through him. And he's just, it blesses me when this happens. It blesses me to watch it. So the Lord came down, he came on Marvin, and Marvin began to, to speak to this guy and to say things to him. And as he did, you could feel all these shields just kind of fall away off this guy. And he became very soft and very tender. And there were a couple of times when I was included for a moment in the conversation, which was fine, but for the most part, I just kind of loved standing there and getting to witness this whole thing. So this guy began to pour his heart out to us, and everything changed, and it turned into something completely different. He turned into something completely different. It's like, oh, this is who you are. You took the salesman costume off, and now you're just you. I like this guy. That salesman costume, you can do without it. Not a big fan, but this guy I like. And so we just started sharing, and and I kept praying for Marvin and praying for this kid as he shared, and he ended up giving us his phone number so that we can check back in with him. And we prayed with him. Marvin prayed over him. It was a powerful day. And I told him, I go, I pray for people. I love to pray for people. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to put you in my prayer journal, and I'm going to pray for you for 40 days. And he said, could you pray for 42? And I thought, so I go, why, what happens in 42 days? He goes, I don't know. He goes, I just think I might need a little more prayer than the average person. I said, oh, when I get to the end of the 40 days, if the Lord says do another 40, I'll do another 40 and another 40 after that. I will pray for you until the Lord tells me that it's okay and I can stop. So that seemed to really comfort him. And anyhow, it was a great time. We told him to stop by anytime. Not that we're going to buy anything from him, but if he wants prayer, just to come chat and let us know how he's doing. We're here. He knows where we live. So as he drove away, I had that wonderful, joyous peace that comes on me after I know that God's moved in somebody's life. That's exciting. When I see God show up, that's powerful. I love that. And then I started to think, and I went over to my husband and I said, my attitude to begin with was not very good. I just was irritated, so irritated that I'm having to deal with another salesman and listen to another sales pitch. But I go, but it was eye-opening. See, when he told you that they always have a stash, she can do 150. I go, see, one of the things I get irritated about with people in sales is like you go to buy a car, you go to buy a house, and I'll tell you, I have this much money to spend because that's how much I have to spend. Not because I'm trying to get a better deal. I'm just telling you. And they always, I remember looking at houses with a real estate agent one time, and I said, it has to, nothing over 99,000. This was a long time ago, and you could actually get something pretty decent for 99,000. But I said, not a penny over 99,000, not 99,001 cent, 99,000 or less. That's what we can afford. And they kept showing me places for like 120,000. And I'm like, wait a minute, and they wouldn't tell you, they'd go, okay, I found some things that fit what you're looking for, so I'm assuming they're 99,000 or something. And so we're looking at different houses, and a lot of times I didn't even ask how much because it wasn't, but then there was one that was really nice. And I'm like going, oh my word, we can get this for 99,000. And he's like, no, all these are around 120,000. I'm like, why are you showing me things for 120,000? I told you 99,000 or less. And he goes, well, people can always, when you see what you can get for a little bit more, they always want to get. I go, not me. I'm telling you, I don't play games. I'm upfront with you. I'm honest with you. And when I finally got through to him that I was serious, when I said not 99,001 cent, but 99,000 or less, I meant it. So then he had to go back and redo things. And then, finally we found something, but it was not. Okay. So I was, when this kid said that, I'm like going, so that's what it is. They just don't believe me. They think that I'm holding out, that I've got something, tucked away somewhere that, and so if they'll just show me for more. So they're guessing how much they think I really have. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't even matter when you tell the salesman you're being honest. They still don't believe you. But anyhow, I told Marvin, I go, my attitude was wrong. I was irritated. I didn't want to deal with this. I just wanted to go back in the house and get back to what I was busy with. But I go, but when you started to talk to him and you could just feel all those protective shields come down, he was a different guy. The look, his countenance, everything about him changed. And Marvin goes, yeah, I know. He goes, I've got to get some things right too. He goes, I had the bad attitude too. I just wanted him to tell me how much it costs so I could tell him we don't have the money. And I go, yeah, but then you go and get me and drag me into it. And then he's kind of like, well, we're partners. So it was an eye-opener for me that sometimes I'm getting irritated when I need to just be sensitive to, okay, Lord, what are you doing here? Because see, that guy didn't just happen to stop here. No, God sent him. And there was a reason he sent him. It wasn't to sell us what he was selling, but it was so we could minister to him and pray for him. And now continue to pray for him. So just wanted to share that with you guys, that, the next time you find yourself being irritated or inconvenienced, take a deep breath, because maybe, just maybe, it's something God sent your way. And instead of being, when it's all over, you have that joyous peace, that sound resolve that knows, whew, God showed up. Okay, I love you guys. I gotta go. I gotta do something, I'm sure. I gotta get a cup of coffee and get rid of this one. No, I'll drink the water so I can have the coffee. I'll be a good girl. All right, I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Thank you, everybody that subscribed. I do have, as of the recording of this, I do have 20 subscribers. If I hadn't mentioned that, because I think I did in yesterday's video too, but I'm looking for 30 now. This is kind of fun. So if you enjoy these videos at all, please feel free. Share them on your Facebook or other social media. Share them with your friends, anybody that you think it might make a difference in their lives. And leave me comments. I love that. The thumbs up encourage me. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so that you can hit the notification, so that you know every day when my next video comes up, because there's a new one every day, because there's a whole lot more stories to tell and a whole lot more confessions to make. Yeah. Marvin said that probably people, he said he watches my videos because he's trying to figure out why I'm such a wacko. I said there's probably a whole club of people trying to figure that one out. I don't care. Doesn't matter anymore. All right. I love you guys. Now, have an awesome day, and I will talk to you later. All right. Bye.